I started panicking inside, and then like something pulls me to the bed, and I can't move. I used all my strength to get up, and I get up, I'm like, you're the devil, you're the devil. And he's like, no, chill out, it's just the acid, it's just the acid. 20 minutes we're driving, and I look back at him, I seen him, he had black eyes, his face was different, like his jawline. Like, I know it's kind of weird, but I like remember his jawline being so sharp, it was like weird, it wasn't him. I'm like, God, he's like, if you save me right now, if you show me who you really are, I will never smoke weed again or do any drugs.
So Bogdan, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Bogdan Romanov. I'm 19 years old. I got 7 brothers, 2 sisters.
Where did you grow up? What city?
Where'd I grow up? I grew up in, I'm originally from Ukraine, Kherson. We came here when I was about 9 months old, so I really don't remember back home.
How was it growing up with so many siblings?
It was hard because I was the youngest. I always got picked on by everybody, even my sisters. I think my sisters were more harsh to me than my brothers.
How old are you, Bogdan?
I'm 19 right now.
19. You have a testimony of being addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? How did that come across your lifestyle?
In elementary school, I got bullied a lot. And then middle school, like 6th, 7th grade, I got bullied. 8th grade, they tried bullying me again. I started fighting people. I was like about 13 at that time. Started getting in a lot of trouble, got kicked off the bus a whole bunch of times, fought a lot of people in school. Spent half my years in middle school in ISS, sitting alone. 8th grade summer, when I was about 13, I smoked my first blunt. I still remember that experience.
Peer pressure or?
No, not really, because actually before that, I started vaping, kind of, a little here and there. And then 13, I came out in my garage, and my cousins were sitting there, and they were smoking. They're like, take it. I was like, no. I was like, you're gonna punch me, you're gonna hit me. They're just testing me. They're like, take it. I was whatever, I took it. Smoked it. I liked it, and then 14, 15, I started smoking alone, like daily, every day. Started buying weed. Started stealing stuff a lot to get money because my parents were like, we were kind of broke back then. We want to have money, so I had to figure out other ways to make money.
Wow.
So I'd go steal from like people, school, and I'd go sell it to get money to sometimes eat, but mainly just for like weed. And then when I was 16, one blunt wouldn't do nothing anymore. Wow. So from weed I went to pills, to like hydros, painkillers, and I got addicted to those really fast. And then I started taking Adderall for school and stuff, just like keep me awake because I wouldn't sleep at night sometimes. Wow. And then from those pills, I would start drinking. And then drinking, I would go to parties and start hanging out with girls and sleep around with girls a lot.
Was there some kind of void in your life that you were trying to seek to?
Oh yeah, 100%. Honestly, like I didn't even think about it. My dad left when I was like 14. And I really didn't realize what kind of impact it had on me until I got here and I just started thinking about it. Like I started thinking about I had daddy issues. I didn't have a role model in my life. Besides like my brother Dima, that's what kind of started fighting people, because I would go to his house when I was younger and I would see how he would act towards people. And he's this big boss man. I was like, I want to be like that. So I started kind of following his footsteps, but not as crazy. I'd see my brothers do some bad things. I was like, wow, I want to be like them. Like I followed my brothers. That was my only role model in my life, you know? Yeah. My dad wasn't there. He was an alcoholic, you know. I didn't really learn anything from him. I would get in trouble a lot by him, and that would just push me further away from my family.
Did he live with you?
Yeah, he lived with us until I was like 13, 14 years old. I remember it's been like 5 years now, 6. I haven't talked to him since.
Your mom separated?
Yeah.
And you stayed with your mom?
Yeah.
How was that? Did that impact your life, the separation?
Yeah, 100%, no doubt. Growing up without a dad is the hardest thing ever. And Max and Demo don't always be out of the house, so like I was like kind of lonely, you know. And like I don't care how tough you think, or being lonely is the worst thing ever. So I had to like take stuff and do things to fill that void in my life. So that's why I'd go party, I'd go sleep around, I'd just hang with the wrong crowd. It was bad. It was really, really bad.
So you also said that going too deep into drugs, you experience devil.
Yeah, after all my drugs, I started taking a little harder drugs. I started doing acid. It's not really a harder drug, but it was more fun in a way. Because acid, you take it and you'd like see stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad. Like you see like little dudes running around in here, like mirrors, you would look in the mirror, it's terrible. Well, I took acid like hundreds of times. And then my brother David, he gave his life up to God a year or two before mine. And he's like, stop doing drugs, stop doing this, stop doing this. And I remember one time he's like, stop smoking weed. I go to school the next day, I get caught with weed. I get charged with a whole bunch of, I don't remember, but it got me like a warrant or something, I don't remember. I was like, there's coincidence. And then I gave my life up to God, May 9th, 2020. Me and my homie were hanging out and we were taking acid, and acid's like a spiritual drug. I heard a lot of stories about people like seeing devils and stuff and like little demons and things. That night we were having fun for like 2-3 hours at first, and then we were chilling in his room. We're like, let's go smoke. We went and smoked a bowl of weed, and we come downstairs and like the whole environment was like really, really weird. Started getting like really weird vibes from it.
Wow.
Like I didn't know what changed, but we were downstairs in my friend's room with his sister and his girlfriend. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what room I was. I started like walking around, started panicking really bad.
Wow.
And then he's like, let's go in my room. I'm like, okay, yeah. I sit down on his bed. He's like, you want to talk about it? And something inside my head said, no. Don't talk about it. I could hear this voice. I didn't know who it was back then, but I'm like, no, it's okay. It was just chill, you know? Like trying to calm down. And then he's like, I started panicking inside, and then like something pulls me to the bed, and I can't move. I used all my strength to get up, and I get up, I'm like, F you, you're the devil. And he's like, no, chill out. It's just the acid.
Wow.
And I start calming down, and I like start sitting back down, and he's like, let the acid take control of you. I was like, wait, no, you can't. I get up, I'm like, F you, you're the devil. And I'm looking at him, and it's not him. He has a different face structure. It was, I don't know how to describe it. It was really bad. I got really scared. I ran out of his room.
How old are you in this time?
17.
17.
Yeah, and we drank that night, smoked that night. Yeah, I ran out of his room. I ran in his sister's room, like, there's the devil. The devil's here. They're looking like, Bogdan, you're just tripping, you're just going crazy.
Wow.
I was like, no, I'm not. I know what I'm seeing. I start panicking. They give me the Bible. I'm like, whoa. And I'm holding it. I just such this peace come over me. And I'm like, I look at it, and I'm like, calm. No fear, no nothing. I look away, and I look at this photo, and it starts moving again. I keep looking at this Bible, and I'm like, calm and peace, and I sat there.
Did that shift your life?
100%.
Did that make you think I should not do this
100%, because I knew what was going on. I don't know how I knew it was going on, but I knew that this was the devil. It was the devil through him. I was like, you gotta take me home, bro. He's like, no, I'm on drugs. I'm like 20 minutes away driving from home. I'm like, I'm about to run home. God's like, or I didn't know who it was. He's like, go talk to David. He said, go home. I just kept hearing that in my head, David, go home, go talk to David. Like I could physically hear it. I was like, you gotta take me home. I'm about to run home if you can't. So his sister was like, I'll take you home. I was like, can it just be me and you? And he's like, I'm gonna come with. I was like, you can't, bro. I was like, you can't. He's like, I'm coming with.
Wow.
I was like, whatever. I run upstairs, put my shoes on, and I'm outside, and they're still inside. I'm like, God, I was like, if you save me right now, if you show me who you really are, I will never smoke weed again or do any drugs. We get in the car, I sit shotgun, his girlfriend's sitting, driving, the friend's in the back. I'm trying, and God's like, play the Christian channel. There's like K-Love or something like that. And I'm trying to find it. I can't remember the station. I'm like, whatever, no music. And then he's like, I got a song for you. And in my head, he's like, don't let him play. Don't let him play, don't let him play. I was like, no, you can't. I almost punched him because he was like trying to turn. I was like, bro, you can't. And whatever, we're driving home, quiet. I'm texting David. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, David, you up? Right away, yup, I'm up. What's up, bro? I'm telling him, like, bro, I just took acid. And for like 30 minutes straight, 20 minutes we're driving. And I look back at him. I seen him, he had black eyes. His face was different, like his jawline. Like, I know it's kind of weird, but I like remember his jawline being so sharp. It was like weird. It wasn't him. Whatever, driving complete silence. Every light's green. No cars, no people, no nothing. Like it felt like I was on a movie set.
Wow.
So we're driving home. We're like a block away from home. I'm like, I can't be in a car with you. Just drop me off here. I start sprinting home like as fast as I can. I'm running. It's like a 5-minute run. I just sprinted the whole way. I'm crying. I was scared. I'm like looking around me. I can see things like, I don't know what I saw, but it was like demons or something. But I'm running home. I get home and I text David. I'm like, I'm gonna be home in a minute. Open the door. And like run inside. and David's standing in on the front porch, not the front door, inside, just like this, like with his arms closed. I sit down on the stairs, I'm like bawling, not saying nothing, and he's like, I told you you're gonna come to me. I was like, I look up at David, he has a white hoodie on, his hoodie's over, he has white hair, white eyebrows, and a white beard. And I'm looking at him like, who are you? He just smiles at me. Back then, I didn't know who that was. We start talking, remember what we started talking about, but he's like, before I created this earth, I wrote your name in the book of life.
Wow.
And then I look in his hands and he opens his book and I see my name, I see my family's name in the book of life. And then downstairs, we had like really demonic presence. And I was like, bro, we gotta go upstairs. She's like, it's okay, I'm here. I'm like, no, we gotta go. Like, I didn't know who it was, so I was like scared. I was still scared. I was like, let's go upstairs. Whatever, we went upstairs and we talked for like until the morning. And he's like, ask me anything. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, ask Jesus anything. And I get up, I'm like, I was like, when will I die? He's like, no, ask something serious. I was like, okay, why am I here? I was like, why'd you put me on this earth? Like, it kind of clicked who it was. I was like, why would you make me? I was like, I have no point, I have like no purpose in life, I have nothing. Like, so why am I here? And he starts telling me, he like starts prophesying to me in a way. It's like, you're this. And I'm like, wow, you know? And I can like still feel the acid, and I can like, and then that, when I seen the devil, I had this really bad feeling in my chest. That's like, yeah, it was bad, like fear. It was really bad. I could feel it again. I was like, you gotta pray for me. You gotta like get this demon out or whatever. Well, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know, but we start praying. I'm hugging him. He's hugging me. Best way to describe I literally leave my body. I'm like looking. I'm here, and I can see me hugging Jesus. And I'm like just hugging this white light in a way. I don't know. It was weird. And he's like, stop. He starts praying for me. He's praying for me, and then like it all leaves. That night, got like free from drugs, pretty much. And went to sleep. So 3 months later, in those 3 months, I was still partying, I was still drinking, I was still popping pills, but I wasn't smoking. Before all this, I lost everybody. I lost all my friends. I lost in contact with everybody. I had half of Sioux Falls, you know, knew me. We're moving houses, and my homie Rama hits me up. Me and Rama went through some stuff together, like some really serious, deep stuff. He hits me up. He's like, yo, you want to smoke? I was like, no, I don't smoke. I don't smoke, bro. He's like, yeah, you do. Come on, bro. I'm like, no, I don't smoke. He's like, yeah, you do smoke. I was like, I bet, come pick me up. Hang up the phone. He comes pick me up. I haven't smoked in 3 months. We roll a really fat backwood. We were smoking, and I was like, hey, let's go to the vape shop, let's buy a vape. And then that nasty feeling comes again in my chest. He starts playing the song. It's called like In Control or something, I don't remember, but as he started playing that song, that nasty feeling, I was like, no, you can't play this. I'm like, don't play this, don't play this. His homie's looking back at me like I'm like tweaking or something, which I was, but I was like, bro, you can't play this. He's like, no, you good? And I pull out my phone, I'm like, hello, mom. And for like I was like, bro, my mom says I have to come home, turn around, take me home. For like 20 minutes, I was talking to my mom because I didn't want to listen to that song. He drops me off at the end of the street. I get on, I'm like crying. I'm like, Lord, I know I promised you this, but I failed. I was like, what do I do? He's like, go ask your mom for forgiveness for everything that you have done. I go there, I tell her everything, that I fought people, stole, robbed, smoked, drugs, girls, everything. And I think that God was talking through her again too. But I was like shaking real bad. I was like terrified because that nasty feeling. I was like, Mom, just go pray for me, you know? I asked her for forgiveness, everything. I told her, she's like, it's okay, I still love you. I was like, Mom, just go pray. I was like shaking real bad, I had fear. I was like, whatever this is, like stop in the name of Jesus, you know? And then boom, complete peace.
So tell us how you heard about KDC. That is such a powerful testimony, and for you to just end up in college out in Sacramento, like hours away from your home, like how did this happen? After
I gave my life to God, I started having problems with my mom, and one day I was really fed up with it. I packed all my stuff up and I left my mom's house. 2020, I was 17, 16, something there. And went to my homie's house, and I lived with him for like first 6 months. And then I got put on ankle monitor for skipping school and fighting in school. And I got put on ankle monitor. That was right before Thanksgiving, went home, sat on ankle monitor for 4 months till January. 2 weeks before my 18th birthday. I was sitting in court. I had a couple felonies, a felony misdemeanor and a couple warrants. And my homie took me. I was like, bro, here's my phone, my wallet, everything. I'm about to get locked up for 3 years for everything I have. Like, I was mentally prepared. I'm sitting in court, And this goofy judge comes up. He's like, hey, how you doing? He's like, yeah, you know, your last name Romanov was like a Romanov kingdom back then, or Russian something. We talked about that for an hour.
Wow.
He's like, well, and I told him, I was like, I stopped doing drugs, I stopped fighting. He's like, well, I can see you're getting your life back together, so I'm gonna drop all your charges, get you off ankle monitor, and yeah, and $90 fine for like $10,000 worth of fines, $90. Whatever, go home. Again, like 4 months later, I go back to his house. I start living with him again. And that was 3 months I started drinking and vaping again, popping pills. We got in a really big fight. Almost really beat him up really bad, but I didn't. God told me not to. I went back home.
So at this point you hear God's voice already.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I went home, packed my stuff up in his house, went home. School's about to end. I was like, God, what am I gonna do here? I have nothing, I have nothing here. Before I leave, I get a new friend group, Christian people. They still vape, so I was still vaping. 2 weeks into that, my brother calls me. You wanna come to KDC? He's like, you got 3 months to decide. You got till the end of summer. And then those 2 weeks, my girl, we got really close together. So I was thinking not going because of this girl. Like now that I think about it, it's just distractions from the devil. So I won't come here. End of school, Dima calls me. He's like, yo, my graduation's in tomorrow or 2 days. You either come now or you're never coming here. I was like, okay, I'm coming.
My other question to you is, if there are people right now that are watching this and they're either addicted to drugs or like struggling in their life, what is an advice that you would give them?
There's a root to everything. All habits, all bad habits, there's a root for everything. How I got out of that, I truly didn't want that life no more. Because through those 5 years of doing drugs, I never got filled. I would smoke a blunt, be good for 2 hours, and then be depressed again. And go home and be lonely and depressed and everything, you know? I had friends, I had everything. Drugs, I had money, everything, girls, but I was still inside, deep inside, I was lonely. And that's why I do all that. But how I got off of them, you just truly, in your heart, want to get set free. And like, David started telling me testimonies about how God like encountered people here. I was like, wow, you know, that's awesome, you know? I want that, like, I don't want this feeling anymore of not being loved in a way.
I love how you said that. Everything has a root.
Everything.
And I think that's like the deepest revelation that you have conquered, where all of that is filled now
100%.
with God. Is there one thing that has changed in your life here, like one major?
100%.
A big revelation.
My mindset. My mindset. And the biggest thing is love people how Jesus loved you.
Come on. Well, Bogdan, thank you so much for this. Thank you for being so vulnerable and open. Like, your testimony is gonna impact many lives, and it's very to the heart and to the root.